Hi, Jack Canfield here with another segment of Talking About Success, where I interview thought leaders and authors and other people that can help bring you information, ideas, and strategies for living a more successful, meaningful, and fulfilling life. And my next guest is Ulrich Kellerer from Germany. I love it. I wish I could speak German and English. He speaks English really, really well. Started his life in the field of fashion, and then decided he wanted to move into some other things, and he's a co-author of a book I just did called The Soul of Success. He wrote a chapter called It's All About Fashion. There's no second chance for a first impression. I love that. That's such a really good concept. And he's written a new book, which I'm holding up here, called One Moment Can Change Your Life. And I love this book, so we're going to talk about that. So let's talk about just some background. How did you get started doing what you're doing?
In the fashion business?
Yeah, start with that.
I always wanted to be in the fashion business, but the thing is, I'm coming from a farmer's home, and it was very strange for my family because I changed the clothes three times a day. They said, this boy cannot be from a farmer's home, but I said, if I go to school, I have to dress this. If I meet my girlfriend in the afternoon, I have to change. In the night, I go out with my guys, so I have to change this. They said, this is a really strange guy. But I did a normal education after school. I went to France. And I was in the food industry, and I found out it was not really good because even at that time they put ingredients in the food what I didn't like. So I came back and had the possibility to come in the fashion business, and I was really impressed. And I started, let's say, by zero, because this owner of the company said he has no experience in fashion, so he put me in the stock room. But then, step by step, I had really good sales skills. I was his best salesman. He made me a product manager. I became the sales manager. I was CAO, and then I was shareholder of the company. And this in a very, very short time. Then I founded my own company with my wife together. We failed with that because it was not a really known brand. They pay only for the good brands, and we was waiting for our money. That took me a long of experience. And then 3 years ago, I was taking care of my mother always because she was the last remaining with me. She fell in her apartment and she had to have an operation, and the operation failed. Further 9 operations came. She was paralyzed. Then the end of the story is she had to see the nursing home, never coming back in her apartment. She was claiming every second day, hey, I don't want to stand with this lady, I need a single room. The waiting list in the nursing home is about 2 years. So I'm a salesperson. I said I have to show up and do something. So there are events like Carnival or summer event or Christmas. So I was in the service. I served 170 people, 10 hours. I bring you the glass, I take the glass, I clean everything. And she was so upset that you are a manager, you cannot do this, it's not your job. You are a manager, you have to run the company. I said, no. And then I have just in mind to write a book. And I met you the first time in Philadelphia when you was the guest speaker, and you gave me advice and recommendation and said, oh, Ole, one book is not good. You should do what I did, Chicken Soup for a Seer. So I had in mind a question you. It's all about fashion, it's all about religion, it's all about sport, it's all about sex. You said you got it. Okay. Then I worked on the book, but I was very blocked because I was not free with my mom and everything. But I said, I need an audience. I never had experience. So I said, this group cannot escape. They are in a wheelchair. It's just a joke. They have to be there. You can say, no, I'm busy, I have to go somewhere to this center. My mother was joining in. She was, again, my biggest critic. Take a glass of water, speak louder, speak more clearly. And they say, who is she? She's my mother, okay? And then she became jealous because my group expanded always more, and they had a rule. Here is sitting Dr. Hahn, here is sitting Mrs. Kramer. And she said, I'm not joining in tonight because I just took a shower. I said, I don't mind if you have a shower, if you join in. But then, finally she got the single room. She got the single room, my mission was done. But she fell again in the room and died afterwards. And I dedicated the next hour to her with the candle and the picture. And the chief of the nursing home was thinking, my mission is done, he will stop it. But Jack, I could not. These people are waiting more than 30 minutes before the event, and they tell me this is so sad. This is the best hour of the week. And I improved, and I read mostly in the beginning your stories, because Chicken Soup of the Soul are true stories, and these people can only follow, let's say, 10, 12 pages. And though I had in mind to write a book about my transformation, 1 hour a week can change your life. And I asked them for stories, and they said, no, we faced the Second World War, we have only sad stories to tell. I said, that's not true. Since nearly 2 years, you listen every Monday to me, you're laughing about my jokes and everything. So then I had a deadline to bring out the book. I changed the title to One Moment Can Change Your Life, because the new concept is that I say, you can have a meeting on a train station and meet the wife of your life. You can have an offer of a job and you go to California for the next 20 years. You can have an accident. You can have a near-death experience, a religious, a spiritual. Everybody has one. And then I have a young guy in my company who told me at the age of 26, I don't have any moment. I said, till now, it still will come. Then I was reading in the nursing home and the people said, oh, you're still looking for stories? I said, yeah, the deadline is end of January. Yeah, but I don't want to speak in a group. So I said, I will come to your room. And I said, is tomorrow 2 p.m. okay for you? And she said, yes. So I was reading again. She said, no, tomorrow there's a treatment. I cannot. The other ladies will say, I take the appointment at 2 o'clock, so I want to have 10 o'clock. So I was interviewing my first stories. And out of my media summit I did with Steve Harrison, I had now recently 2 radio interviews, one in California with Sharky Zartman, and last week with Jerry Lewis in New York. And I will go back in 1 week to New York again to bring my book out and present to the media, and I hope everybody will like it.
You said something earlier before we came on air about you had been reading these stories. Mm-hmm. And before that, there was like an average of 1 person a week was dying in this nursing home?
Yeah, this is a strange thing. There is a mass in the church, and they say we dedicate a candle for every person who was dying this year. I said, okay, we'll join in with my wife. And then they had 51 candles in 52 weeks. I said, this is strange. I was thinking back and said, oh, really? I lost in the first 6 months of reading 4 persons. And before reading, I watch always, there is like a frame, I watch who is not here anymore. Okay, I was not thinking too much about it, but I saw that my people showed up. They go to the hairdresser, now they look for my wife, also in fashion, say, hey, you have good, and they have a rule. Here's sitting check, here's sitting in there, so second row if you're coming. And since 1 year, nobody died anymore. But the strange thing is, the oldest one is 107. So, and I said, our society, even people told me, is this good if they survive so long? I said, yeah, this is good because these are the parents that brought us to the world. These are the people, they have stories. And you know, the children don't have the time to listen to all the stories. I'm there respecting them and they're respecting me. And I can go back out of the room afterwards. And they're waiting. And when I'm back, like now here in the States, I said, I'm visiting Czech, Canfield. You have to promise me only one thing, to be back on next Monday. And they say, we will. I say hello to Czech. But what they're doing, they know you, and they know that we met and when I was in Tuscany with you. So they know I was there. And they ask me, how was it? And this is so good. And there's one lady, for example, she is wearing glasses like me and has a flashlight on it. Mm-hmm. And it's really sometimes very dark in this nursing home. And the last week before I came here, she offered me her glasses with the flashlight to read more things. And I took it, and it was so strong, the glasses, that I said, it's very kind of you, give me your glasses with the flashlight, but I don't use it because, no, this is step by step. There was one man, he didn't speak for 5 months. He was always not speaking. And I told him I was always working with women my whole life, fashion industry, I love it. And then after 5 months, he told me, I also worked with women, but my boss hated women. So they open up. I mean, this is not much. And I said, everybody can do something to give
let's
back.
talk about that. So here you have this experience, very transformational for you and for the people in the nursing home, and it results in this book occurring.
Yeah.
What advice could you take away from that to give our viewers in terms of what might be valuable to help them be more fulfilled in their lives?
I feel everybody of us has an inner voice. And I had it in my early days. And I really had dreams, and I dreamt about things that happened. But then I wanted to have a normal life. And fashion business is very sufficient, and I hide behind that because we fake outside. And I took care of your appearance outside for 36 years. Now I'm really caring about how you feel inside. And I really say everybody can do something. You can work in the kindergarten, you can volunteer, you can stop tomorrow if it's not you. For me, Jack, it was really selfish in the beginning. It was the thing just to have a single room for my mother. It was also selfish for me reading, so I have an audience, I can try and test. But then, step by step, it changed me so much. And I'm so passionate that mostly on Sunday, I'm not prepared with new stories. So my wife, tomorrow I have to read, and 1 hour is long. I bought a new book, and my challenge is I want to be better every Monday. And really, and if somebody is standing up from the wheelchair, shaking your hands and saying, thank you, this is the best hour of the week, I could cry. Still I could cry because I said something is wrong in our society. If this could be the best hour, I mean, this is the last station for them, but they're giving me motivation. They tell me their life, and they have really experienced a lot, and nobody's listening anymore. In the nursing home, nobody has time. The son knows the story. He's traveling. He has to go back. I'm there. I'm reading. I'm enjoying them. I'm the entertainer. And I'm going outside afterwards.
That's beautiful. I remember we did a book called Chicken Soup for the Volunteer Soul.
Yeah.
And the one story, or a theme that was through all the stories, was I always got back more than I gave.
Yeah.
It always enriched me as much, if not more, than the people I was serving. It's beautiful. So if people want to get in touch with you, find out more about your book and the other things you do, where would they go?
They go to my website. My website is ulrich-kellerer.com.
Very good, very good. Well, I wish we had all day here to talk about this and
Thank you.
share more stories, because you're a great storyteller. I can't wait to read what you've got in this book. Again, one moment can change your life. It is so true. And I hope this last few moments have helped contribute to your life. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.